Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow!
The name's Doc. Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to r/Xbox One Party Chat podcast. And can you believe it, guys? It's episode 20.
Woo!
I am this week's host, Ross Miller, and I'm joined by the Modmeister himself. It's Rhys.
Yo!
And he's all Dave every day. It's Dave.
How's it going, guys?
Fantastic, Dave. What's up, man?
Nothing new. Just getting back on.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back on the podcast. Of course, he's known in the subreddit as Falcon Box.
And why is he here? Because...
Clay isn't?
Yeah. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
Clay's dogged us 2 weeks in a row now.
I know.
I'm starting to feel unloved.
I think we should have a 3-week rule. If you're not on in 3 weeks, you're sacked.
Yeah, basically.
This
Dave,
is also a really good
Yeah.
test to see if he listens when he's not on it. So
Clay's dead to us.
I'm just going to tag him on the subreddit, dead to us.
So we usually start this podcast by asking everyone what they've been playing. So Dave, you don't frequent here too much. So let's start with you. What have you been playing this week?
Well, over the weekend, I played quite a bit of Titanfall 2, the tech test, which we'll get into a little bit later. And I played this game called The Fall, which was on sale for like $1.50 on Xbox Live.
Yes.
And it was actually really good.
There's a sequel been announced, hasn't there? That's why the game was down to the price it was.
Yes, I believe it was originally kickstarted, but the sequel is coming early next year. And we actually had an AMA with the developer last year when the first game came out. And it's a narrative-driven, almost like a puzzle adventure game. And you play as an AI robot trying to save the life of the pilot that's unconscious inside of it. But if you liked a game like The Swapper, which was also kind of a sci-fi side-scrolling puzzle game, you would definitely like The Fall.
Is it co-op?
No, it's single player. It took about 4 or 5 hours to beat.
It's still quite good, though. I was wondering, my wife and I like some co-op sort of platform stuff, so I was wondering about that. I'm definitely going to check that out, though. Definitely going to check that out. Now, in Rhys's absence, in Clay's absence this week, I've just been playing Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, God.
Had to be somebody.
Yeah, non-stop. I can't not play anything else. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Wow.
But it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. What a game. And I'm not going to talk about it too much because, let's face it. And for some bizarre reason, I finished So Many Me.
So many you.
Yeah. So that was the Games with Gold, 6 months ago?
I remember playing that for an hour or so. We had the developer on the subreddit at some point, if I remember correctly.
But you know something? That's a really good game.
Yeah, it is a pretty nice little platformer. It was originally a game on the, I believe it was even a launch title for the ill-fated console whose name is...
Wii U?
Ouya?
Oh, that was mean, Ross. That was mean. Dave was correct. It was the Ouya.
That was being serious there. And the reason why I haven't turned to Rhys yet is because I think you have had quite a busy week, Rhys. Is that correct?
No, I wasn't really doing anything that interesting.
Give us all the news from Gamescom right now.
All right, it's coming. But actually, I have played a game that I have to mention that's unrelated to Gamescom. I actually finally started playing Inside.
Oh, nice. How you liking it?
Thanks for
Oh, I wasn't supposed to swear, was I? It's okay, we get one. PG-13, you get one. Wow, this game. I really don't think there's any other way to describe that game, to be honest, except for that phrase. It's amazing. It's great. It's just, if you haven't played it, do it. Because you're stupid if you haven't. But,
yeah, I have not played it yet.
Really? Oh, well, you're stupid. Go and do it. Really, you won't regret it. I was a bit apprehensive about the $20 price tag, but worth it. The atmosphere is just incredible. Play it with headphones cranked up high. It just drips atmosphere. It's one of the few games that understands the power of silence.
Yeah, very good point.
Like quietness can be more unsettling. Is quietness a word? Anyway, quiet can be more unsettling than the loudest noises and the most scary monsters ever. Like it's just perfect. It knows exactly when to stop and make you look at something, or when to stop the sounds. It's every last animation, every single step you take has been perfectly combed over and polished, and it's a perfect experience, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely heard a lot of good things about the sound design on that. I was going to bring that up if you didn't, but
yeah.
So, like, if you guys get any favourite games with regard to sound? Because what springs to my mind is games like Battlefront. Brilliant sound.
Yeah, the whole Battlefield series, in fact, has amazing sound. Did I say Battlefront? I meant to say Battlefield.
You said Battlefield, but
I said Battlefield?
I mean, it applies to both.
Yeah,
I mean,
same
war games in general have great sound, and that Battlefront, when you had the one grenade that sends out like the sonic boom.
Oh, it's the thermal
yeah.
imploder. Whoop.
Yes.
There's an epic YouTube video of 10 hours of that sound. I think the Dead Space series has absolutely incredible sound design, as well as Alien Isolation had some of the best. Basically, it's the horror games that tend to have the best. Horror and war, explosions and scary things, I think, is where sound design shines.
So I was going to say about the Alien Isolation. It's just the faint in the distance, the little alarm sound going off.
Oh, what about the motion tracker?
Oh yeah, that's a scary sound to say the least when you hear the beat. But
I put it away because it's so unnerving, but at the same time you need it. It's but at the same time the alien can hear it. It's like, oh, do I look? It's like, so you end up sort of like pulling it up and like doing a quick turn and then putting it back down again. But so Gamescom, got off track. Okay, so Gamescom is pretty neat. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's pretty awesome. That's a joke. Of course you have. Gamescom is the biggest trade fair in the world for games. 137,000 square meters, which I did some mathematics for our American friends, and that works out to be about 25 football fields, because you guys measure in football fields. So yeah, 25 football fields of games. And it was great. There wasn't any like announcements this year, which was a bit sad, but if you were there, it's just awesome. I dressed up as a pirate and harassed Emma. Hi, Emma, from Rare and all the other Rare people, and I played Sea of Thieves, and I played every single game at the Xbox booth and a bunch of other games, and I saw so many game trailers and so many things. And being a pirate at a big games fair is amazing. You know why? It gives you unlimited license to go wherever you want, annoy whoever you want, and take whatever you want, and anybody around just goes with it.
Really? Is this a lesson in life? Is this just applied to like gaming?
I'm not sure, but everyone should dress as pirates more often, because no matter where you are or what you do, they're like, oh, it's okay, he's a pirate. Like, he's just doing that because it's a piratey thing to do. Just make sure you say "Yar" a lot, and you get away with anything. There was a professional cosplayer dressed as Corvo from Dishonored, and I jumped up onto his stage and challenged him to a sword fight.
Who won?
Neither of us, because we weren't allowed swords. They had really strict rules this year, and you couldn't have any weapons or anything that looked like a weapon. So we had an invisible sword fight. It was great, but and basically I did all the things. So I was also on the live stream with Rare. I was playing on the same team as the production crew versus a whole bunch of fans, and I went to Fan Fest. And I hung out with Graham, AC Bongos, and the man himself, Aaron Greenberg. and I met Agostino Simonetta and Chris Charla, the bosses of ID at Xbox, and I met everybody, even Larry. Larry was there, but he was in a real hurry. He was like, "Hi, Larry, bye, Larry." so yeah. What do you want to know about? What games?
Right.
I'll tell
So
you if I've
tell
seen
me, right, so we'll go over. So you have played what? Gears, Recore, Forza, and Sea of Thieves.
them. More. I
Right, the
played
exclusives, I mean.
exclusives: Gears, Forza, Recore, Sea of Thieves, Halo Wars 2, Cuphead, Everspace. I think that's I think that's just for us. What's the word I'm looking for here? Exclusive.
There's only one I want to hear about right now, and that is Cuphead. How is it? Is it exactly how you expected?
Cuphead stars. No, Cuphead. I was going to make that into a Gears joke, but then I just fumbled. Cuphead's great, actually. It's okay. So it's not a platformer. I thought it was, but it's not.
It's bosses. It's just endless bosses, isn't it?
No,
Well,
no.
they added the platform part in, right?
There is platforming. Don't get me wrong. You move sideways and do some jumping, but it's really rudimentary. The game is more like Contra than anything else. It's like, and it's not just regular Contra. It's like Contra on roids. Like Contra meets a Japanese-style bullet hell shump is how I would describe Cuphead, especially the bosses. It is hard as nails. This is not a game for casual people. This is like get good Dark Souls level of difficulty.
Anyway, Gears.
Okay, you got two in a row. Dave gets to ask the next one. Okay, so Gears is good, I guess, because it's Gears. It was the single player campaign. That's the first time that we've been able to play it, and it was cool. Basically, you started off in the rain, classic Gears, and you ran through like a forest, and then all of a sudden this huge storm comes in with like a gigantic tornado that's on fire, and it like rolls through and just wrecks everything and sets the whole air on fire, and there's like this huge strong tornado winds, and like if you have to hide behind cover, and if you step out of cover you get like the enemies, like when they die and stuff, they get picked up and like tossed around in the wind and stuff like that. And it was just classic Gears basically. You run for a while, shot a bunch of things, chainsawed some grubs, and that was that. I mean, if you're a Gears fan, you're gonna love this. It's like by the numbers Gears. It looks awesome. Easily the best looking game at the show, and it's got a couple of small additions. Like the thing I noticed was the fact that you can, if like you're against cover and one of the opponents is against the same piece of cover, you can now reach up and grab them and pull them over. That's a nice little touch. But otherwise it was just basic Gears, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, I remember watching the one recent gameplay video, and they had the new gun that shot the spinning blades, the saw blades.
Yeah.
And you could take out like I guess the ropes tying logs together, and the logs would go flying at the enemies.
Yeah, the physics are awesome. Like in the tornado, like anything, like all the props and stuff just start getting picked up and tossed around, and if they hit you, they'll kill you. And like if it's not just like even the weather effects, like the rain is affected by the wind, and if there's an explosion, like the fire and the explosion itself is affected by the wind. It's hard to describe, but it looks incredible. It's great.
So, Dave, what do you want to hear about?
I guess I want to hear a little bit about a Recore, because we haven't seen much of that. And then it was kind of just announced at this E3 that it was going to be coming out this year. Obviously, it was first shown last year. But I've heard some people actually comparing it to Mega Man, saying it's a better modern Mega Man than even Mighty No. 9 was, which shouldn't be too hard to accomplish, but...
Savage. Yeah, so I did play Recore. I scored some sweet Recore swag, by the way, a really awesome t-shirt. And anyone who's a fan of Recore should definitely pay attention to the subreddit in the next couple of weeks. Am I right, Dave?
Right.
That took a long time.
I don't know. Suspense. Yeah, I don't want to give anything away. I'll just agree with you.
Yeah, well, they should definitely pay attention, because we have some cool stuff coming up. But yeah, so Recore. First up, it looks good. It looks really nice. And yeah, Recore. The only word I can use to describe it, and I keep coming back to it whenever I tell anyone about Recore, is it's very Japanese. and please don't think that's like racist or anything, but it's a very Japanese style game. It's very old school, despite looking modern. It has like these stiff controls and stiff animations. Like it's not Uncharted where you've got like the slick movement and stuff like that, and the character moves very realistically and very motion captured. It's completely the opposite of that. Like it's fast and it's responsive, and the gameplay is like entirely twitch based. You dodge, you jump, you boost, and yeah, it plays a lot like Mega Man or Castlevania, except it's in third person, and it has the lock-on mechanics and the shooting mechanics of Metroid Prime, and everything is like color based. So you have to like change your weapons based on the color of the enemies.
That's the best description of it I've heard.
Okay, well, good.
Like, is this something that you're dying to play again?
No. And that is entirely because I'm not a huge fan of this particular genre of game. But in fact, typically I dislike it immensely, but I really did like it, and I would play it again. So it's quite a testament to how good it is in that I think it's good. And normally I would, discard it as being, crap.
Forza.
Forza, okay.
Yeah, it's more for cars driving around, right?
We're going to go all through the list. Yeah, cars driving around looks great. They've applied the water effects from Forza 6 to the inside of the car for this one. It looks great when you go through puddles and stuff. I just drove a car for a bit, honestly. The demo was underwhelming in that it didn't really show off anything new. But, I mean, it's a car game, so what can you do? I was really impressed, mostly again, by the improved graphics and the density of the foliage, the foliage of basically all the trees and stuff. There was lots of them, and they're really dense, and they look good. But other than that, it's Forza. I mean, what more do you want? You already know. You're going to buy it already. Everyone's going to buy it.
I know.
If you like Horizon 2, you're going to love Forza Horizon 3, basically.
Exactly. So. If you liked Forza Horizon 2, you've already pre-ordered Forza Horizon 3.
Is it barn finds? Go and give me a barn find.
No, I did not see anything like that. Sorry.
Oh. And lastly, you were dressed as a pirate, so Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, can I just say actually before you start, I watched your live stream.
Live?
No, a recap later.
Ah.
But when you link me it. But basically, I am never getting on a ship with you. Ever.
Hey now. I'd like to see you steer that well with a hook hand.
Well, I'm sure pirates probably had to.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, you left a man behind twice.
That was not my fault, okay? He fell off the boat.
Yeah, but you don't leave men behind, right?
I tried. We kind of cheated and just teleported him back on the boat, just like in real life.
Pirates can teleport. We don't know.
Pirate power, We're kind of cheating, us being the developer team and teleporting our own members back on. Actually, I'm glad the other team did not know that at the time because we were fighting against two groups of. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, the game is multiplayer, and in the demo, it was set up in a small like arena almost, and there's 3 teams, and each team spawns on an island with a ship, and then you sail into the middle and duke it out, and the other 2 teams. Mine, like I said, was the production crew, Rare, and the other 2 were just gamers, who were members, who were attending FanFest. So it was us versus them, and I'm glad that they did not know we were cheating. But yeah, so Sea of Thieves, no joking, this game is great, and not just because I dress like a pirate. It is awesome. Rare is back, baby. This game is just fun. There is no other way to describe it.
I don't think they ever went away.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, Rare's dead. Rare just makes the Kinect games now." Rare, anyone who has ever doubted Rare, shame on you. First of all, go and play Viva Pinata and realize how stupid you are, and then throw those doubts in the bin. Sea of Thieves is incredible. I played it 4 times, and if anyone has ever been to a gaming convention, you know that I actually put a lot of time and effort into getting there. So, yeah, what you do in the demo, at least, is that, like I mentioned, you sail your ships and you fight one another. The full game was apparently have like all kinds of different content, sword fighting, treasure hunting, this and that, piratey activities. But in the demo, it was like simplified to just encourage you to fight in the ships. But the real hook of the game is that was a pun, by the way, is that it's completely team-based, and everything you do on the ship has to be done manually. So if you want to raise the anchor, everybody has to come and actually turn the lever. If you want to lower and raise the sails, then people have to do that. If someone like the captain has to steer the ship himself, but he can't see in front because the sails are in the way.
Yeah, so I remember that from the stream because one of the guys lifted the sail up slightly, so
about
you could
halfway,
see.
so I could see. It was great. So yeah, I keep saying pilot, the captain, the helmsman. Right, we've got the pirate lingo now. The helmsman cannot see where he's going, so he needs somebody else to do what the developer did and like cheekily raise the sails up and down a bit so I can take a peek, or more likely to climb up into the crow's nest above the sails, or go to the front of the ship and actually direct the helmsman where to steer. And the captain needs to tell the crew which side cannons to man when you pass other ships, so that you can like fire into each other, because those ships only had guns on the side. And when a cannonball hits the ship, it puts holes in it, and you have to actually go and like board those up like with wood to prevent the ship from flooding with water and eventually sinking. And it gets really chaotic. The firefights are just epic, and it's just really fun, and it's stupid and silly, and you can do really funny pirate stuff like drink grog and have your guys stumble around a lot. Most realistic grog in a video game, by the way. And you can play random instruments like the accordion and the hurdy-gurdy and all those other really weird. You can play Flight of the Valkyries on the hurdy-gurdy, which is probably one of the reasons it's going to be my game of the year next year. And yeah, so Sea of Thieves, believe the hype. It's great.
What is a hurdy-gurdy?
It is that old kind of like almost a guitar thing.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like somewhere between a guitar and a violin, that piratey instrument.
I know exactly what you mean. Now, actually, I'm not going to lie, watching your stream and all the footage from Gamescom and hearing people's reaction, I cannot wait for Sea of Thieves. It's so up my street, it's unbelievable.
It's just awesome, really. But the only thing is that you only get as much fun out of it as you have dicking around with other people. Like, if you're a solo kind of guy, I don't think Sea of Thieves is going to be up your alley.
Well, thankfully, Xbox has the Xbox clubs coming out sometime soon, so hopefully they can create a club for Sea of Thieves and people can party up nice and quick.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be very useful.
Well, so let's find out what's been happening in the subreddit this week anyway.
Let's do that.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. This week in the subreddit.
So I'm going to come in with the first story. So Sir Crackwax has posted... I know.
What?
I know. You done the show notes.
But I didn't read it.
Yep.
Control C, Control V. All right, sorry, keep going.
It says that stupid Facebook girls on the feed, and that's the whole title there. So Crackwax doesn't like stupid Facebook girls. But there's a lot of rage about this. Can I ask, have you guys actually noticed that there is these half-naked women appearing on your feed on the console or in Windows 10?
Well, I don't normally look. So I went and took a look after I saw this, and yeah, there was lots.
Yeah, I notice occasionally too. Most of the time, I notice just the games because whenever you buy a game, you're automatically following their activity feed. But even from the start of the Xbox, with the Upload Studio and the Upload app, you could find, promotional Facebook type videos like this all over the place. But now they're just shoved into the activity feed more.
So does this need to be regulated more? Does there have to be more rules, or why does this happen?
Dave?
Um, Either regulated or toned down, or just don't put them in automatically if we're not already following them.
I know, right? I think with a couple of filters, like a couple of filter options or a bit of intelligent filtering, a la what Facebook does, it could be much better. Like if you could maybe pick some topics that you're into, or have it just show only game-related things and related to the kind of games that you like. Like if you buy a lot of first-person shooters, then seeing a couple of things about other first-person shooters wouldn't be so bad, I guess.
Right, because they have something like that for the activity feed already, where you can change it to just show screenshots and videos, or just show everything, or maybe just show achievements. I believe that's something that's already in there. So,
Yeah, but the Major chimed in the thread actually, if you guys saw that, and he said that he was going to forward this to the relevant people. So hopefully something gets done, because we've had like 4 threads about this pop up in the last 2 weeks, plus more that we've had to poleaxe.
I'm not going to ask why. Like, it doesn't particularly annoy me because I don't, unlike Rhys, go out looking for half-naked women on my Xbox. But, you said it. But, like, I can understand why it can be annoying and why it's not suitable for the relevant console, but it'll be interesting to see, now that the majors chimed in, what happens next. Dave, what else you got for us? Or what have you got for us, should I say?
I have a topic posted by user Branant221, and that's basically about Titanfall 1 multiplayer being a lot better than Titanfall 2 multiplayer right now. Did any of you play the tech test over the weekend for Titanfall 2?
I did, yeah.
I did not, so I'm just going to recluse myself from this, but I was a big fan of Titanfall 1, so I intend to be all hateful and angry over in the corner. So I'm going to let you guys go for it.
Yeah, I love the first game as well, even from the start. And I began playing the tech test Thursday night, a little bit before it went public. I got a code from the Titanfall subreddit to get it early. And even after my first couple of games, I was like, this doesn't feel right. I mean, is this just me? I felt that there was going to be some backlash, and was there ever? Yeah, some of the things that they changed, it seemed like there was you lacked momentum coming off the wall runs. You just seemed to be running a little bit slower. The Titan timer, your countdown timer was gone, so it was all based on kills or playing objectives. They removed the attrition mode, and the one map, Homestead, just seemed way too big. There was nowhere to parkour on.
Yeah. Everything sort of elevated towards that central building, didn't they, in that map? Just so you can swing about.
Just hearing this makes me angry.
I
haven't even seen it.
The waves of grunts in that bounty hunt mode then spawned out in the field, so you had to run out in the field with no cover, nowhere to parkour on, and go kill them.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same as you, Dave. Like, I turned it on expecting more Titanfall, like the first one, and it just didn't feel like Titanfall to me. And I lost interest really, really, really quickly.
So the question is, it's like, I'm all for having developers make the game that they want, but do you think Titanfall has sold out? Have they done what everybody's claiming and are trying to snatch up the COD kiddies, or have they made an honest mistake?
It'll be. Go, Dave.
I would say honest mistake. It almost seems like they knew that the first game was popular, but I don't think they knew exactly why it was popular. But they've gotten plenty of feedback, and they even posted on their blog that they were changing already some of the things. Not sure if they're going to be in for this weekend, but they said that the countdown timer for the Titan is coming back, speed and momentum's coming back, Titan dashes will be made quicker so you can move around quicker as the Titan. No word on yet if attrition is coming back or the AI bots battling all over the battlefield, which just added so much to the atmosphere in the first game. That's something that you can't get in Call of Duty.
No.
Well, the funny thing is a couple of my friends who are very, very COD-centric, they played that game for years, loved Titanfall 2 Beta. Absolutely loved it.
Did they play the first game?
Well, one of them did a little bit, the other one not at all. But they just really, really liked it. And I think it is accessible for that COD market.
Okay.
Now what's up for the relevant developer and Respawn, and just they need to balance it right. I feel, don't alienate original fans. If I wanted to buy it, a lot will be riding on me for this weekend. If I buy this game or not.
I've been scared off. I'm not going to buy it at launch anyway. I'm going to wait until after launch because
they did. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say there was so much vitriol. Like, this is going to be one of the worst received sequel beta tests in history because, like, the Titanfall subreddit went into full-on meltdown, and the mods actually had to restrict submissions because every single comment was just vitriol. And it's frightening me because I like this game, and pre-orders are scary sometimes.
Yeah, they did say that this was a build from a couple of months ago, from around June, but some of the things are just game design in general. I wasn't sure if they could necessarily tweak something real quick. It's the underlying issue of the game, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to get in this weekend, as Ross mentioned. But we'll just have to keep listening, I guess, within the next month or two, see how the feedback is.
Is the grappling hook at least fun?
It is. It takes a little getting used to, and only one pilot class has it. Not all of them do by default.
You can attach it on any class though later on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's some stuff that should just be built in. Like the wall hang. So if you're running along the wall and you hold the left trigger, you stop. That added a lot to the first game. The grapple hook, I think, should be. It's a perk.
Why?
I don't know. I was going through the training course that they have at the beginning of the game, and one of the first things I did was try and run on a wall and then stop and shoot a target. I was like, why am I not wall hanging? What's going on? I had to Google it real quick and saw that it wasn't equipped.
The reason for me that Titanfall 1 was so successful in this land of or this time of what we would call as being jumpy shooters, where you're not sticking to the ground that much. I can understand why Titanfall wanted to be different again, but they seem to have lost what made the first game so good.
I do want to praise them, though. Like we said, the grappling hook is good, and the new sliding mechanic works excellently. And that's something that adds to the quickness and mobility of the game. That's what made the first game so good, and they added to it, which works really well.
Okay.
Would you, if you were the developers with all this feedback, if EA let them, would you push the game back?
It depends on how quickly they can change stuff. If they needed to push it back, I would be in favor of it because people said the first game died off so quick, and getting the second game, I don't think the second game could survive having to wait a few months for an update to fix things. I think it needs to come out of the gate and be good.
Yeah.
Especially because it's going against Battlefield 1.
Yeah. And, Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty a week later.
Yeah, it's hard mode.
Yeah. I want Titanfall to do well. I love the first game so much. I want to get more and recapture that feeling. I just hope they can pull it off.
I hope so too.
So has TitanFallen?
Oh, you're just waiting all day.
About 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. And we've got a podcast name for the episode. Right, so what else has been happening in the subreddit this week? Rhys.
Well, that's an easy one for me. The games with gold for next month, September, were announced. It was posted by... Okay, hold on. Sluip Mornadalache. Yeah, that guy. It was posted by US, that guy, and the games are for Xbox One, Earthlock, and Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. That is a mouthful. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. And for the Xbox 360, we've got Forza Horizon, just in time for Forza Horizon 3, and Mirror's Edge. Discuss.
This is the first time ever I own 3 of them.
Yes. I own 2. I own the 2 360 games.
Yeah. Not digital.
I've got Mirror's Edge, that's it.
Yeah. So, I think that shows how strong a month it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, by the way, I finished Mirror's Edge 2 last week before I went to Gamescom. It was great.
I've got to finish that game still. Ridiculously, I'll probably go back and replay Mirror's Edge before I finish Mirror's Edge 2.
It's better.
So which of these games don't you own, Ross?
Earthlock.
Okay. Yeah, I had to look that one up. That's a turn-based RPG, I don't know, set in almost like a Scandinavian medieval setting, it looked like. I couldn't really tell based on the quick look I gave it.
Cool. I'm quite excited for this. It's some nostalgic feeling grew inside me with this game, and I can't quite pinpoint it. I was very Scottish there.
You did, yeah.
I got excited, Rhys. But yeah, I really want to get my hands on this game. It really looks like a lot of fun. And I don't know too much about it, just the video that Major Nelson posted got me excited. Do anyone know anything about this?
I just looked it up. It's made by a Norwegian developer, which might explain the Nordic Scandinavian vibe you've got. They're called Snow Castle Games. And I think we might have to try and get them on the subreddit, actually, because if you guys are so enamored with this but don't really know anything about it, I think an AMA would do this game quite a bit of justice. It says that it has subtle nods towards Pokemon, Disney, and Fable, while dancing its own brilliantly carved path.
It's a nice description. Good.
Yeah, I'm just reading a press release.
I like turn-based RPGs too, so it's nice to see, developers take a chance on a dying genre, it seems like.
Yeah, it's probably just that's why I'm excited, because I haven't seen something new like this in a while.
I think the last good new turn-based RPG was Child of Light.
Either, Child of Light, or which came first, Child of Light or South Park: The Stick of Truth?
I think... no, The Stick of Truth was a 360 game, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. So it would have been Child of Light.
It was Child of Light, yeah. And I mean, the last month's Games with Gold, I think it was last month, it was...
Banner Saga.
Banner Saga, and that's turn-based tactical isometric combat. It's not quite the same as a turn-based RPG, but almost. So we're getting a lot of really interesting games with Gold recently, aren't we? Like it's not just run-of-the-mill sort of stuff. Like, they're really sort of encouraging people to experiment on like weird and interesting games that they might not have actually purchased.
And it's good, you are getting your big name, Mirror's Edge and Forza Horizon. There is a lot of gameplay hours in both those games. Mm-hmm. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, fun, not amazing.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that, because that whole series kind of seemed to go under the radar. There was the Chronicles China, Russia, and India.
Yeah.
And I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, but these side-scrolling ones actually look interesting to me. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game.
That's even more egregious than me saying I never played Red Dead Redemption. That's just one game. You've never played a whole series of the most famous games ever.
It's fun. It's probably a good way to get into the lore of Assassin's Creed. It's fun. My kid likes it because you can run a bit. It's really hard to explain.
Is it a platformer?
It is a platformer, but you also have the relevant stealth sections, so you are having to hide in the shadows to let people pass. So, you do have to think about your moves, and there's a lot of things that you can unlock as well. It's average. That's the only way I can describe it, as I thought the game was average.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of 2.5D, if that's a thing.
Yeah, no, that is a thing, yeah.
It's a side scroller, but you can kind of also hide and turn around corners a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, Ross, I believe that next on the list is you're going to basically that Microsoft has made an earth-shaking reveal, and I believe it's you who's going to tell us all about it.
Yes, I'm now the chief executive. No,
Right.
Microsoft has revealed the Xbox Onesie. So, user Shancake1 posted a picture of the onesie as well as all its details. Do you want a list of its features, guys?
I would like you to read
Definitely.
the full list of features in your best marketing voice.
Oh no. Radio, TV, what are you wanting?
Let's go radio advertisement.
No, I'm just going to read it.
Mad Men.
Enlarged pockets to fit your Xbox controller and media remotes. Arm pouch to offer quick and easy access to your mobile phone. Rollable legs and arms to cater for all temperatures and seasons. Forearm grips to prevent slipping on those edge of your seat moments. Extra large hood to accommodate headsets for the ultimate gaming sessions. And customized gamertag embroidery.
Ooh, that last one.
Yes.
Next time I'm going to have to get you to read it in Scottish Morpheus voice.
Oh, no. Scottish Morpheus voice is just my voice.
It was like your voice, but like really, really early in the morning. But yeah, so the Xbox Onesie, wow, this thing is exploding on Twitter and everything. It's just silly.
Yeah, it's so like ridiculously unnecessary, but I love that they still did it.
I absolutely love that it happened, and I love a big company that can poke fun of itself.
I just need a
boring to be
pocket
serious.
to keep my oodles of noodles, and I'll be happy.
Oodles of noodles.
Yeah.
So, but I have to make a comment. I got to shout out to Mikey. A long time ago, Mikey and I decided that in the subreddit sidebar, we would put, instead of, I think right now it's gamers, we would put onesies as a joke, Xbox onesies.
Uh-huh.
And you can probably understand that there was a bit of backlash about that. So we rolled it back, and Mikey and I have hashtag never forget, and he is gloating. You all laughed, but look at me now!
Now, does this mean we get royalties for every onesie that's sold?
I know, right?
Did we trademark that?
Mikey,
Darn, we missed out.
We trademarked that.
Are you going to buy one? If you get the opportunity.
That is a good... No.
Yeah, if it was just a hoodie, I almost definitely would. I don't know about a onesie. And I just did a quick search. There's no pricing information on it yet, so we don't even know how much they are.
I was seeing that the recommended retail price is $200.
I seen the same thing, but was that not Australian dollars?
Oh yeah, so it's like money.
$5,000 US or something.
Yes.
I'm not sure the exchange rate, to be honest.
I already have onesies in my house, and they're all anime desu cat themed. Don't ask.
Now, I have never worn a onesie in my life.
Probably for the best.
Because if anyone's seen the size of my rear end, I physically can't fit in one.
Huh.
I think that's why they've got the flaps on the backs.
The onesie. Right, okay.
These are gamer-sized after all.
Yeah, very true.
So, Dave, please steer us away from this topic that I brought up and wish I never did.
Okay, so user Fave10 posted that PlayStation just got its first Humble Bundle. Actually, I think they may have had one in the past, I read, but don't quote me on that.
You should know.
Now on record saying it.
You should know everything, Sony. If anyone who doesn't know, Dave moderates the PS4 subreddit.
If I remember right, when I read it, it was back in the PS3 days, though, and I didn't own a PS3, so...
Well, to be fair, not much has changed, because it's mainly PS3 games on it. I had a look.
Yes.
I haven't had a look. What games are they?
It's a Capcom Humble Bundle.
Oh.
So for those who don't know what Humble Bundle is, it's generally PC games, and you can donate as much as you want or as little as you want. So if you donate $1, you get maybe 5 games, and if you donate up to $15, you get all of the games. And as Ross said, these are mainly PS3 games, but the PS4 ones that are included are like Resident Evil 0 Remastered, Strider. Yeah, that's a good game, actually. I recommend that. And then a couple coupons for half off Street Fighter V and Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Okay.
With the PS3 ones, there's a couple of Street Fighter games in there and Street Fighter Puzzle and things. But like, I would love to see this in Xbox One. Would you not, guys?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody likes cheap games. What's the charity?
Anyway, moving on.
Now, the charity it says at the bottom of the page, it's supporting the American Red Cross, Save the Children, and RettSyndrome.org.
Okay.
So,
anyway,
yeah.
sorry, Ross. Continue.
Well, I would like this, but we have a little bit of an advantage, sorry Dave, on our Sony counterparts. We've got backwards compatibility. If this was a list of backwards compatible games, how many people would jump on board and give their money to a great cause to get a great list of games they might not have picked up individually?
So many people. My Steam list of games is quite extensive, and I think I've bought maybe 90% of them through Humble Bundle sales. Like, all these games that I'm never going to ever play, like Restaurant Tycoon, for example, but I own it because I got it in a Humble Bundle. See, that particular Humble Bundle, just to give anybody who's still not 100% familiar with how awesome these are, it had a whole bunch of games, maybe 15 different strategy games. And the main reason I bought this bundle in particular is it had Civilization 5 and all of its DLC.
Yeah.
And the price was like $10. For Civ 5 and all DLC, $10 is a steal. But Civ 5 and all DLC plus like 10 other games, wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad one. Like, you were always going to find a gem in a Humble Bundle, but to keep it Xbox related, what would you like to see in a Humble Bundle? I've said I want to see backwards compatible games. What's your perfect Humble Bundle for Xbox?
Like the bunch of games that I would like to get for cheap?
Or a certain theme, for example?
Well, definitely. First of all, I think there should definitely be a whole bunch of indie games in the bundle, because indie games are always the most innovative and they get overlooked so much. So a whole bunch of like really cool and crazy indie games for sure, plus a couple of more high profile games to sort of sweeten the deal. Like with me with Civ. Like Civ was the reason that I bought it, but the other games are like a icing on the cake, so to speak. But I guess you could do it heaps of different ways. You could pick a theme like strategy games or platformers, or you could have a horror theme. Or what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, the horror theme I like. That would be, have that around the fall, or something that Xbox doesn't really do anymore. How they used to have the Summer of Arcade on 360.
They have the Summer Spotlight now. It's going on right now.
That's right. Yeah, the Summer Spotlight. Maybe a year and a half after all the games on a Summer Spotlight, then put them on the Humble Bundle.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. Like, I do think the indie games, the ones that you might have just missed and no more, that's the ones that people would pick up. Even if they own a couple off the list, they would definitely, pick it up. But
yeah.
What I want to see is Dead Rising 3 and Rise on it.
Oh, yeah. Rise.
No. We know Rise is going to be a Games with Gold one of these months.
Just keep waiting.
Next month, like October now, it's going to be.
Actually, because speaking of the old Summer of Arcade thing that's now Summer Spotlight, I bought Inside, as I mentioned earlier, but I also bought a game that I didn't even know existed. And I think one of the things that would be amazing with this this Humble Bundle, it can actually draw attention to indie games that go under the radar. Because unless you check the Xbox One store every single day, you will miss indie game releases, because quite a few don't get any press. They just pop up out of nowhere, pop up and gone. And one of these games was, it's called Army Krog. And I didn't know it had even been released on the Xbox One, or any console, in fact. And it's, did you guys ever play the Neverhood or Skull Monkeys? Way back when on the
Never
PS1.
even heard of those.
Okay, so they're old games. Now I'm the old man again. And they're famous because they're by a group of guys called the Neverhood. And the Neverhood make point and click games. Like those old school point and click puzzlers, you know? But what makes them cool is that they're made completely out of claymation. And they have really twisted and sick and black humor sort of jokes, and they're just really cool. They drip with style. And they actually made a new game called Amikrog, and I saw it on the Summer Spotlight right next to Inside. And I was like, what? That's mine right now. And I had no idea. And I moderate the Xbox One sub, so I should know this. But stuff like that just sneaks past you. And I think Humble Bundles would be a brilliant way to sort of draw attention to the little hidden gems you might not know about.
Oh, Rhys, you didn't mention. I just looked it up, too, and they said that it comes from the creators of Neverhood, but apparently these creators also made Earthworm Jim. That's something that a lot of people are probably more familiar with.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, Earthworm Jim. Brilliant game. That's backwards compatible, by the way. I saw that in my ready-to-install list. I don't think I saw anyone make a post about it on the sub, but if anyone who owned Earthworm Jim's HD remake on the Xbox 360, and if you didn't, you should, because it's great and it has local co-op and it's awesome. It's ready to play now on your Xbox One.
Right, so we've hit the end of another episode. No interview this week, as you may notice, because everyone's getting too busy about to release some games.
I was sort of the interview. I basically just hyped on about the games.
Yeah, that was the most boring part of the pod.
You know what? You didn't even talk about half of the games that I actually played, by the way. Just quickly, Dead Rising 4 is awesome. Halo Wars Tour is awesome. Everspace, if you like Freelancer, this is Freelancer 2. Worms is great. What else was great? Obliteracers is stupid fun.
Did you play FIFA?
I did not, because it's FIFA, and you've already pre-ordered it because you're from the UK. Little Nightmares. I want to briefly say, Little Nightmares really caught my attention. It had this weird, creepy, like twisted Alice in Wonderland looking booth, so it drew me right in, and it had these cosplayers like outside. It was weird, and it's like a little 2D stealth platformer, but it's just so creepy. If you like games like Inside or that Alice Through the Looking Glass game or anything that's like creepy and disturbing, you need to put Little Nightmares on your radar.
That definitely sounds up my radar. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, Google the trailer if there is one. It's great. It's really, really disturbing. These long hands coming out of the shadows and just thinking of it. It's like all the nightmares you have as a little kid come to life.
Well, you've piqued my interest at least.
Yeah.
But apologies for this podcast being late. Gamescom and dragging me off Rocket League was quite difficult to do. And Dave, thank you so much for joining us. Now, when I walked into the subreddit yesterday, things looked a little bit different. Care to explain, guys?
You might have noticed a theme, yeah. That is the product of the very hard work of Mikey and... I almost called him that. Mikey and Richard. And they did an amazing job. And I want to quickly plug the... losing my voice here. I want to quickly plug the contest that we're running now. You can... Because like no one is entering. And do you not want to win a free copy of Deus Ex Mankind Divided? If you do, top of the subreddit, right now you have until next Monday, which is the 29th of August, to augment yourself. That is, take a picture of yourself with a quote-unquote augmentation, plungers duct tape to your arms kind of thing. Take a picture, post it on the subreddit, win a free copy of the game. Seriously, what's stopping you? Ross, why haven't you entered?
I don't like Deus Ex.
What?
Fair enough.
That's not an allowed opinion.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the reason why.
Okay.
That is the first time on a podcast I've said its name correctly.
What's that? Well, how have you been saying Deus Ex?
For years I've been calling it Deus Ex.
Oui, monsieur.
and no one has ever corrected me.
It's Deus. It's short for like Deus Ex Machina, Ghost
Yeah.
in the Machine.
Yeah.
Which he probably pronounces as Deus Ex Machina.
Dude.
Have you listened to my podcasts? Oh. Yeah, so I've been doing it for years and wondering why people were laughing.
Oh wow. Well, I'm glad I was part of educating you now.
Well, no, I think I done this. I found this out a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And I was so happy that I've managed to say Deus Ex correctly on a podcast. But I don't like the game, so you can keep it.
Okay, well, there's more chances for anyone else to enter. Seriously, enter right now. Dave, tell them to enter right now.
Definitely enter right now. You already missed one contest last week where we were giving out controllers. Yeah. I lost the word. I knew we were designing controllers. I couldn't remember if controllers were the prize. But yes, now definitely enter this contest too.
Yes.
And just to say, I wonder if that's what Clay's doing. I wonder if he's 3D printing himself.
A cod piece?
Yeah, a what? Yeah, so
He was
that...
referring to Call of Duty, don't worry.
Yes.
Not fish. But yeah, like, I wonder if Clay's going to come in with electronic parts all over his face and everything else so he can win a copy of Deus Ex. But I'm just saying it all the time now.
I was wondering why you're repeating it, but it makes perfect sense.
Dave, do you want to have the honours this week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dave, I've been talking way too much. My throat is dying. Dave, do it.
Okay.
And for another week, Xbox, turn off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. The official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.
Dave, do you want to have the honours this week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dave, I've been talking way too much. My throat is dying. Dave, do it.
Sorry, do what?
You were going to say Xbox off.
Oh.
And would you say for another week, Xbox turn off? Okay.
And for another week, Xbox, turn off.
Yay!
Jackpot.